You want me to leave you two alone, man? What's going on over here?
She's just taking all she can get.
Well, it looks like a transmission and a torque converter. Do we have good news today for everybody? I think we're officially to the funnest part and the goodest part of all working on cars, which is...
Maybe good news.
Maybe.
The power plant may or may not be going in the Camaro today.
Yes.
Not saying she's gonna be running today, but the weight will be transferred.
Yes, we will get it in here. We'll be able to get the headers on. Now, there is one little hiccup that we're going to have that we're going to put things in, but this is going from being a Turbo 350 car to a Turbo 400 car, and Nick does not have the cross member yet. So we're going to either try to just set it on the Turbo 350, just the way it is right for now. Don't worry about putting on a transmission mount, or we'll just get rid of that and just put a jack underneath the back and just level it off. But he ended up getting that converter back from Cone. Everything's good to go on that. And then good buddy Randy ended up doing this transmission. And this is ready to rock and roll. ATI bell, ATI pan. It's completely Cone internals. It's got the drum and input shaft. That thing will handle way beyond what the 496 has got. Tranny's on, ready to rock and roll. We got the torque converter bolted down. We got transmission lines on, ready to go. And then the overflow coming out. He's going to have a little container that goes underneath the pan from ATI as well. Really, really nice little setups. If you guys have never put motors in the car, this is stuff that you're going to want to do before you throw it in the car. It just makes life a whole lot easier, because trying to do this inside the car is a pain in the butt. So what we got left to do is we're going to lift the front end of the car up. We're going to put it on casters, because the cherry picker itself, they tend to hit the A-arms. So we'll hit the bottom side of the A-arms down in there. So we're going to get the front nose of the car up in the air. But before we do that, we are going over there to help the old man out. What are we doing? We hooked up an electric shifter before, and it just wasn't working. So we are going to test it. We put a new RPM activation switch in it right there, and then rebuilt the solenoid. So we're going to try this out. So we're going to leave it up on the jacks like this, and just, I believe he's got a 3000 RPM chip in it. So we're just going to drop it down into first gear, and then just gently get into it. See if it all of a sudden shifts, and it shifts. Hey, green light, we're gold. So we're going to help him out with this first. All right, it works. Yippee skippy. Happy day. Happy day. Happy days. Happy days. So, yes, everything worked. We only took that to about $3,000 or so on it, and everything worked out. So we are good to go. After doing all the bars and everything underneath the car, there's some tidying up on some of the wiring and some like fuel lines and things like that that the old man's got to do. But this thing, all we got to do is wait for that magic little sticker, and this thing is ready to get to the track. So I'm excited for it. I know the old man. You excited for it?
God, yes.
So we were ready to go. But now we're going to come back over here. Oh, it's just a regular sway bar kit that you'd buy for Monte Carlo. Nay, nay, nay. This is from UMI. Now, this was the original one that was on it. This is a 1-incher. You can see the size difference between this and this. This is a 1 1/4. The rears on these things used to be around, I believe, 7/8. You know, don't shoot the messenger here because it could have been 3/4, but I thought they were 7/8. Now the rear is a 1-inch, and this car never came with a rear sway bar on it. That was always an option that you'd have to do. Well, sway bars were an option. You see the end link, how it's straight up and down? Well, all of this is loose. So what it allows me to do is I can take it, I can move it this way. Notice how we're way over, we're way over. What I want to do is I want to center it. I want them both to be upright and straight. So we're going to center the sway bar where it wants to be, making sure my ends are straight. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to tighten up my ends, and then I'm going to tighten up these lastly. And again, this being on this lift is just like being on the ground, so it's under load. Then you tighten everything up. So now, you saw everything that we got. We got the couplers in, we got the U-joint in, and the girdle for the rear end because none of that came with it. Have to change out the U-joint in the drive shaft because we're putting the 12-bolt in it. And then those boogers, I needed those because I want to be able to swing the hood in. And now you can kind of get the idea of where the hood's coming through here. That's going to be about as tight as you possibly can make it. If it's got to go tighter than that, we might trim the hood. But I'm also going to throw this on it as well, just so it doesn't vibrate. It's just sticky on one side, foam on the other. I'm going to take this, because we are so close to the windshield. I'll show you what I'm talking about. You got the idea. So I'm going to use this in between. I'll put it in a little better than that. Ho, ho, ho. So we are going to get the U-joint put in, get that done. This was the difference between what we thought we needed and what we got. You can see how much bigger that guy is, plus the fact that these are just way too big. So hopefully we got the right one. Hopefully these are also correct, because there's a difference between running straps and running a C-clamp. The distance in between, basically that distance there, is different. So that is all stuff we're gonna find out here in about the next minute or two.
We will dance within the twisted maze of the rising guess the wicked snows. Lost in echoes trying to get room now.
I'm going to show you a cheap way to use some stuff that you might have just chilling out around the barn, shop, car facility, whatever you want to call it. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This exhaust was hanging so low, it was kind of goofy. Now it's going to be gripping here, and now you can see the exhaust itself is about even with, hold on, let me get this down, is about even with the bottom of the rear end. When you have it hanging like where the sway bar is, I don't know, it just always looks goofy to me. It just looks goofy. You should have your exhaust tucked up nice. Plus, it's going to be the fact of you don't hit the damn thing. So I ended up welding those washers on, welded that bolt on. This is what we're doing. Make-believe washer. So we have this. This will fit nice and inside right there. Now I have this piece of rubber that's in between here and here. So you guys get the idea. I put a washer on top, bolts going through. All I got to do on this side is just throw on a washer, lock washer, and a nut, and this locks it in. Well, at that point, you're metal on metal. I have that edge in between. So now I'm actually rubber on there. So it's gonna absorb some of the hits, the creaking and all that, and it just makes for a better setup. So that's what I ended up doing. Once I did that, I was like, I gotta show this. Just, it's not like I gotta show it off. No, it's not that at all. It's just, hey, here's a couple of things that you might have laying around your place. Give it a try. There you go. That's the idea right there. So that's it. Washer on top, nuts welded on, or the bolts welded on, drive it through. And as you can see, it's got a little bit of cushion to it. So it's going to absorb some of the vibrations and all that, and you're not going to have any rattling coming from the exhaust. So compared to the zip ties that were holding this thing up before, if you guys don't remember, one side actually had an exhaust clamping sort of setup on it, and the other side was literally zip ties. This is an improvement. So I'm going to spray a little black paint on there, and we are good to go.
Well, hey, welcome back. As you can see, we got this freight train of a motor fit in here. There's a few things to touch up, but
Oh,
it's
look at
in.
those headers.
Yep.
We haven't been able to see the headers on it yet, but
No.
they look pretty.
It's a whole lot of clean down there.
Mm-hmm. But you happy? She's finally in. I'm going to take a good step back.
Yeah.
That way you guys can see that. Look at that.
Needs a little polishing. I am curious to how the black felt covers will look.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
couple people in the comments said, you know, if you're going to do polished, you better have polished carburetors. Well, we got polished carburetors.
Yeah, this is all polished, but
But I need maybe some separation.
yeah. We could throw one on one side and the polished on the other and go, okay, here you go. Comment, what one do you think? But it's in. We got to toss a scoop on that thing.
Yeah, let's go. All right, so what do you guys think? Put it down in the comments. Do you think this, obviously we'll do a 4-inch so we get a little more air in there, or this? So, I don't know. This is like a big bass mouth, you know what I mean? But,
You know my view.
we're just gonna have to see. Just have to see.
But what do you guys think? The old traditional big mouth scoop BDS one, or the other one with the air cleaner on there? You could be the deciding figure on this one. You can see where I have a power distribution block. So I have power coming straight off of the battery going into that. So now we can take from there. We can take everything we want from that spot. Those are great to have, you guys. Then all of that wiring, I'm going to just ground it to the body, ground it to the distribution block. The fuel pump, which is this guy, well, this is going to go, instead of being hooked up straight here to the battery, that is going to go into the switch panel. I have the fans, all that stuff. Switch panels. I got to hook these relays up for the fans. We do have a relay already on the fuel pump, so we're good there. And then we got the line lock to hook up, the fuel pump for the nitrous, and then all of the nitrous. So let's start in the interior. So I got this stuff that I got to go through and figure out. Some of it's tack wires, some of it's I don't know. There's the wires that were coming through the back, and then you guys get the idea of what's going on back here. Seems like the favorite color is red. One of the things that we will be doing on the switch panel, each one's going to be its individual color. Like I said this before in other videos, maybe you guys haven't seen it, but it doesn't take much to go to Napa, to go to whatever your automobile hardware place would be, and get different colored wire. It does not cost that much, and it makes life so much nicer with. You do have a problem, even though this is a, it's just a carbureted standard V8, blah, blah, blah. You don't have to worry about wiring. Well, sometimes you do, and you want to make sure with your fuel pump, water pump, fans, whatever you got on a switch source, if you start having problems, you can simply look at it and go, okay, that's my wiring for blue for water pump, okay? Makes tons and tons of sense. Don't just sit there using red and black on everything you do. All right, so this is going to be the end of it for us on this one today, because tomorrow I have my son's graduation party, and we're going to be doing all kinds of fun stuff out there. So this was the big thing, getting this motor in, getting some of the wiring done on cheap date. We got the old man's car up and running, and it shifts. So it was definitely a good weekend. So I hope you guys enjoyed that as well. We're going to keep rocking and rolling on this thing. So you guys, we got plenty of footage that's going to be coming up on Schuler's Bad to the Bone 496. The old man's car, like I said, we're waiting on that to get certified, and then we'll be seeing some track times on that. And Cheap Date is definitely in the home stretch. I just got to finish up on some of that wiring. I'm going to throw a set of slicks on it, and then we'll get a hold of Joe, bring it out here, and we're going to do some test driving on that. So hope you guys are looking forward to the stuff that's coming up. Instead of just being in the barn, we're going to actually get outside the barn and start having some fun. So till we meet again, my friends, take care. Hope to see you at the track. See ya.